Okay, so now we have this week's, I was about to say next week, but apparently it's Monday already. So we have this week's event dinos, and they're quite interesting. I'd say this week is very comparable to last week's event dinos. So we got a lot of extra stuff, just filler, basically just to increase the actual needed dinos attempts. And then we got our real choices. So first let's go over the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's all commons. 60 attempts in total, which is absolutely crazy. I dare anyone to complete all 60 attempts on just like one focus dino. I can't even do that. So let's see. So we got Allosaurus, Tarbosaurus, Dimetrodon Gen 2, Nindasuchus, and Ophiuchodon. So in short, none of these are worth going after. I mean, maybe Nindasuchus, Ophiuchodon, if you really want their hybrids. Their hybrids aren't that great. Their hybrids are easily replaceable. Majunasuchus is a worse version of Megalasuchus. Aeneasuchus, it's okay, but it's really good if you over level it. But if it's at a lower level, or if it's even leveled with your opponent's dinos, it loses so many matchups. It has a really good turn 2, but that's all it has. And there's a lot of better dinos with turn 2 now. And since it's so hard to level up Aenea now, since Aenea is a night only spawn, and that the night spawns are super diluted now, as you could observe with Velociraptors. So I don't think Aeneasuchus honestly is worth going for anymore. But if you already have a really high level one and you have a lot of Aenea DNA stored up and don't have a lot of Nindasuchus, maybe you could go for a few Nindasuchuses. Ankylocodon, there's so many bugs with that dino right now. I don't know if they're ever gonna fix it, but on paper it doesn't look bad. They took away long protection not long ago and replaced it with short defense, which kind of sucks. Or else it would have been a pretty decent early game tank. It's still a good early game tank, I'd say, but yeah, again, it's easily replaceable with many late game tanks. But if you're at that stage, Ankylocodon's not a bad choice. So if you're missing out on Ophiuchodons, which are also global spawns, you could definitely go for a few of those. Allosaurus, I don't see the point going for that at all. Allosino is bad. I can't tell you how bad it is, and anyways, you'll always have more allo DNA than Sino DNA, so that wouldn't be a problem. Tarbo's a fun dino to use actually, but again, there's not a point going after Tarbosaurus. Metrodon Gen 2 I personally like a lot actually, but I don't think any of us are at the stage to have Dime Gen 2 viable anymore, so we could skip that. So in short, the commons we could just all skip, to be honest. If you need like a few of those, like Nindasuchus, Ophia, or like Allo, if you really really want it, like I don't know why you would want it, but if there's a good enough reason for you, then for sure go for it. So Thursday and Friday we have 2 days for 3 rares, only 3 rares, and it's a total of 18 attempts. So we have Gorgosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Gen 2, and Irritator. So this one it's like last week's Tojangosaurus. We have a decent amount of attempts. Like 18 is, compared to these few weeks, 18 attempts is on the lower side, but it is understandable when you look at the dinos because it has Irritator. If we're gonna get 30 attempts on Irritator, like that is absolutely insane. It's like they're giving away free money basically. But 18 attempts on Irritator is still absolutely crazy. As you've noticed, I've just been talking about Irritator, so basically ignore Gorgosaurus or Dinosaurus Gen 2. Just go for Irritator. Irritator is just so hard to come by. Its DNA, its hybrid Magnapyrator is crazy. I personally don't expect myself getting it anytime soon, but if you can get it, or if you're close to getting Magnapyrator, of course go for Irritator. It's not even close, these other two dinos. I know some people might want Gorgosaurus for Gorgosuchus, but honestly, if you can get Pyratator even, Pyratator is better. It's still better than Gorgosuchus. Even if you don't have Magnapyrator, and of course Magnapyrator is an absolute monster. It is probably the best anti-tank in the game at the moment. Yeah, I definitely say that. It's the best anti-tank. So, Saturday and Sunday. I don't know why Dinosaur is back again. Like, this week's theme is fierce. So it's like high attack dinos, I guess. I would have thought Baryonyx would fix this or fit this criteria since Irritators in here, but apparently they went with Cicatanto instead. I would have liked if Baryonyx was there, but oh well. Cicatanto is another filler for attempts on Rex. This is pretty clear. Rex DNA is always useful, although I personally don't need any Rex DNA at the moment since I don't have any Velociraptor DNA at all. I get a Velociraptor every 3 days or so. So Rex DNA isn't super useful to me, or at the moment, but later on, when I start working on Trico, I would appreciate all that Rex DNA, to be honest. And for most of you, if you're still working on Indominus Rex or Indoraptor, Rex DNA, of course, is very valuable, although it's kind of everywhere at the moment, since the way they reworked the global epic spawns makes Rex's spawn rate just skyrocket. Since before Rex spawns, or in last patch at least, was shared by how many? 3? I think 3 epic dinos. I'm make sure I'm not missing anyone. Yeah, so it's the global epic spawn rate divided by 3. That's your Rex spawn chances. And now it's the only global day spawn for an epic, so you don't have to divide that by 3 anymore. So it's just it has the whole spawn rate of the global epic, so its spawn rate is just crazy compared to what it was before, and before it spawned a lot too, so I wouldn't be too worried about Rex DNA. So like if you're on a trip or whatever on Saturday and Sunday and you miss this, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not as bad as if you've missed yesterday or Saturday's event, the Kentro one. That one's kind of a big deal. So yeah, but still, I'm not trying to downplay Rex. Rex is still very important. So in general, we have a Fierce week next week. We had a debuff one last week, and then we had a speed one the week before. I'm just wondering what else could we get. We probably could get armored soon. I'd like armored. I'd like some Ankies. That would be nice. I don't see Erlico coming anytime soon, because the only category it really fits in is speed, and we already had that. Who knows, they might bring, like, the ones that we haven't gotten yet are, haven't gotten as weekly dinos at all, are Erlico, Spino Gen 2, yeah, I think that's it, Spino Gen 2, and, Rajasaurus, of course. So those are the only 3 that we haven't gotten yet as weekly dinos. I mean, I don't see Erlico coming next week. It could come in, but I don't know what theme they put it under. The only one I could see is speed. And then we probably could get Spino or Raja. Like, we might even get them in the same week. Because other than that, like, next week might be a repeat of some other dino. Could be Anki for armored. I don't know what else or other themes there are, but maybe high HP. We could get Bracky or Bracky and Notapado or whatever. I don't know. I hope that's not the case. I don't want any of those, but I know a lot of you guys want Bracky, so that would be great if it does come out next week. So I don't know. My bet is on armored. So it's gonna be like Anki, but there isn't really another armored epic. They haven't done a legendary or unique in quite a while, so they might do one of those too. I'm hoping for like Kensho maybe, but we just got Kensho last week, so probably not. Since usually when they do legendaries, it's the legendaries that have a unique hybrid. So maybe Rajaki. You know what? That sounds like a really decent one since, first of all, we haven't had Anki in a long time. Anki was the first weekly dino, and then we haven't had Raja yet, and Rajanki has a hybrid, but we just had Tojango. So I'm really at a loss. I don't know what's gonna come next week. If you guys have any ideas, leave it down in the comments below and I'll look over them. So yeah, this week is pretty straightforward, just like last week. You got a bunch of dinos that you could basically ignore and just go for these two very important dinos, Irritator and Tyrannosaurus Rex. So the other dinos are really filler. You can, if you got tired of these weekly dinos, since they are such a chore now, considering how much attempts we get on them, you can have a rest for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you don't have to go out to any parks for that, and then you'll be busy on Thursday and Friday, because 18 attempts on Irritators means you need like 9 Irritators a day to average that out. So also one other thing I forgot to mention is how they improved these park spawns. So now every time a park spawn despawns, they will swap spawns. So for example, the spawn cooldown on commons is 1 hour. So after a Nundasuchus despawns at a park, they will change that dino to like either Aloe, Tarbo, Dime Gen 2, Ophia, or a small chance it could be Nunda again, but it rarely happens if you have such a large pool. So that really helps with people who have like not a lot of parks around them, and like these parks are like just filled with filler dinos that they don't need. And rare spawn cooldowns are 3 hours, so if you don't have an Irritator near a park, at a park near you, just wait 3 hours and it will very likely change to it's a 50% or it's a like 33% to change into Irritator, so that's a pretty good chance. And epic cooldowns are 6 hours, takes a bit more, but considering there's only 2 epic dinos, it's the chances are pretty high to have Rexes near you, and if they don't, 6 hours, you have a really good chance to have it change to Rex afterwards. So that's a really good change after our crazy like 48 galley week. So they turned down they turned up the cooldown spawn times, but now every time they despawn, a new dino will spawn, so that really helps a lot. So that's all I got for today. Just the weekly dinos. It shouldn't be a really hard choice, but if you're just starting out and you're wondering which ones are good down the line, so these are some general guidelines, what you should go for. And again, there are commons that you could go for: Allosaurus, Nundasuchus, Ophiuchodon, Dime Gen 2 Tarbosaurus. These are all not like bad commons. They just don't have much of a use later on, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. So don't get heartbroken if you don't get all 60 attempts done. That's not the worst thing that could happen to you. I assure you that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow then.